Councillor Lang.
Thank you very much, Lord Provost. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to bring the matter of Dalmeny Station before the Council here this morning, or even this afternoon. My motion with Councillor Young seeks to do two things. One, to address a problem which is an issue right now, but perhaps even more importantly, is seeking to address a problem before it becomes even worse in the future. And let's be clear, without action, the problems which we are seeing at Dalmeny Station risk becoming severe, with significant knock-on impacts for other parts of North West Edinburgh. Now, for those who are not familiar with Dalmeny Station, it lies no more than about 200 to 300 metres south of the start of the Forth Rail Bridge. And although it's called Dalmeny, it very much sits on the eastern edge of Queensferry. Now, as the motion sets out, the station is, first and foremost, a great success story, with rising passenger numbers as the populations of Queensferry and Kirkliston and Dalmeny have grown too. But the problem which we are seeing is one of access, with limited bus connectivity and significant parking problems which impact upon local roads and those areas which should be reserved for residents. Indeed, there are still yellow traffic cones which have sat around the station for almost 2 years now. We know that these are issues which the administration recognise, and I know that in particular Councillor McInnes agrees with me that we need to have these addressed. After all, the local development plan, which was voted through around this time last year, specifically references the need for improvements at the station. And what Councillor Young and I are seeking to do today is inject some much-needed pace into the development of options and specific plans which can be consulted on properly with local residents and then actioned as appropriate. Because 1 year on from the passing of the LDP, it does feel as though very little progress has been made. And as each week passes, it is a problem which is getting worse. Now, Lord Provost, I am clear that any plan must seek to maximise sustainable transport, including new initiatives to encourage walking and cycling to the station. Equally, we do need to look at the option of a proper connecting bus service between the station and Kirkliston, perhaps through an extension of the still relatively new Lothian Country 43. But we also need to develop solutions for parking, because we are now seeing clear evidence of people choosing to drive into the centre of Edinburgh because they cannot park at the station. And this only adds to the congestion and the pollution which plagues places like Barnton and the Queensferry Road. And with the LDP zoning land for many thousands of new homes in the future, we need to be planning now to try and prevent further gridlock and misery in the years ahead. Now, Lord Provost, I know that there has been a late submission from Councillor Booth suggesting in my motion that the request for a report within 2 cycles be increased to 3 cycles. I recognise that often a lot of these issues are not easy ones and are quite complicated ones to resolve. And given that, and despite there is some frustration over the length of time that it's taken already, I am happy to accept that suggestion from Councillor Booth. And so, with the permission of the Council, I would suggest an addendum change to the motion that has been presented to change it to 3 cycles. And with that, Lord Provost, I move the motion in my name.
And to second, Councillor Young.
Thank you very much, Lord Provost. The irony was not lost on me this morning that I missed my train at Dalmeny Station as I was trying to find somewhere to park my car so that I could come into the Council and discuss the issues about Dalmeny Station and indeed the car park. Now, Dalmeny Station is a great asset to the community and indeed is very popular with commuters. It takes half the time to get into the city centre and is obviously much better for the environment. However, if you're not there before 8 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to get into the car park, and the patience of neighbouring residents is indeed starting to wear thin. Now, there is no direct bus service from communities like Kirkliston to the station, and indeed your best option is a Lothian bus that will take you, it runs less than once an hour, which will take you to Queensferry and still leave you with a good 15-minute walk or so at the other end. So, basically, there's been comments in the amendment that there are some works under progress already, and if that's the case, then that's fantastic. But it hasn't been widely communicated with local groups. I know that the community councils aren't aware of any progress, neither are the local councillors or indeed some of the council officials themselves. And if there is progress, then we need to be much more actively progressing this. But if not, then we need to be addressing this as a matter of urgency. I second the motion. Thank you.